Hey everybody, thought I'd catch you up to date on the latest paramotor flying adventures that I've had. Most of it's West Houston, Katy, Texas, there sort of area. This one, I'm on my periodic tour to Central Oklahoma. This is the Goldsby Airport, and I gotta say, man, it is just such a joy to be able to have an airport like this, a grass strip, and I have an aviation radio. I can even kind of announce, my intentions, what's going on. Wasn't much traffic there, but just loved to launch. And this was a nice evening flight. I got three or four flights, a couple in the morning. This was probably the best one. Lots of open fields and just beautiful area to fly. Got the Canadian River, and I followed that along until I came across the, what is it called, Thunder Valley Raceway. It's a drag strip, and it was I'm pretty sure this was a Friday night, so folks were coming in and didn't feel it appropriate to see how fast the paramotor made it down the quarter-mile strip. I might do that if I can catch it vacant sometime, but I got buzzed a little bit. There was a decent amount of wind. I think I had a reverse launch there if I look back at the video. So, there'd be a bit of rotor and some trees in the area. So I didn't get too low and bug anybody. Didn't want to create too much of a stir, especially when I'm sort of a visiting pilot. But it was pretty cool. My main goal for that particular flight was to get on up and cruise down some of the riverbed. I think it had rained not too long ago, so the water was up a little bit higher. But I managed to find some sandbars and places I could cruise down kind of low in the water and keep it safe. Thing about this is if I have a motor out here, I'm going to be safe, but I'm going to have a heck of a long walk out. At least it looked like it from above. There wasn't any roads that came very close to this. But sure is hard to resist the temptation. Get down and buzz in there. And bringing the scene back to the west side of Houston, Katy area, here's Brandon taking his dudek solo up for a flight. We got what, 3, 4, 5 wings laid out on this particular day. Had a good evening flight from. This is one of our more open sites, as you can see. We got grass. There's a few. It's not nearly as nice as the airport because there's a little bit of sticks and brush that can get your wing if you're not too careful. But it was a pretty good day. There's Jamie getting ready to go, and Joe. I think I sort of introduced him a video or so ago. He's flown with us 2 or 3 times now, and I'm going to help as Jamie takes off. I'm going to help Joe get his motor started. He's had a little issues with it. It's kind of funny. It's running good, but I don't. He may be flooding it. We're not real sure. Talked to him a little bit about it, but sometimes it starts easy, and other times we had a little bit of difficulty. But we got him going eventually here. Oh, you got it there. And we'll get Joe into the air. It's one of his maybe his second or third inland flight after he got his training done. Did a good job bringing the wing up. Again, it was pretty decent amount of wind. This May, a lot of this footage is from late April and May, and I probably had more reverse launches, higher winds than we're used to. So I'm going to get clipped in and have a little bit of an issue here. I've got a little, let's call it a bungee cord. I just broke it there. It basically is a little cord that Chad Bastian put on my motor when he sent it to me. I bought it from him long ago, and it's just a little thing that connects down to your harness and lets you grab and pull the pull starter handle down easy, so you don't have to reach over your shoulder and search for it as much. Anyway, that snapped. As you saw there, I had took the motor off. I didn't want the cord flapping. I snapped and tied it back together, and get back out, get the wing up, and get gone. Got out following folks around and ended up doing a little bit of water cut. Saw this water puddled here. It's not really a pond, but it had a lot of rain recently. So, you know, got to take the opportunity where you can. Anytime I see an inch or so of water, that's that's my perfect water foot drag. I guess one of these days, all those clumps of grass, maybe I'll have another run through the muddy water. Hopefully not. I did that early in my career, but there, I think I'm following Jamie around one of the construction sites. Just again, this was a fairly windy day. We haven't had any, very few of just butter smooth low wind situations. So hopefully we're going to get some more of that soon. I did have one in the morning here where I was on a solo flight. I'll show you here in a bit. And there's, I think it was Brandon coming in for a landing. This particular evening, Jamie and I kind of hatched a little bit of a plan. Jamie works with me, so we were until recently across the hallway from each other in the office. And he got his one wheel out, didn't realize he had one until he told me. He said he wanted to get some footage. So here's some third-person footage of me flying by with Jamie going down the road on the one wheel. I came in, I probably should have pulled a little more brakes, but I was high enough I wasn't gonna risk stalling it, and so head out to so I could get back behind him, get even with him. I think I did a little better job the second time around once I come back around and catch up to him. A little better job of pulling a little more brakes, slowing down a little bit more so we could stay alongside each other a little longer. But you know, I made sure I was nice and low, so if I stalled, it might have been ugly on the prop or something, but not to worry in, you know, significant injury or anything. But still, in the end, I outran him and had to make another turn out. And bringing this beautiful evening, this was a really nice evening. We still had a fair amount of wind, but it got pretty good. One of the better ones that we've had in a while. And here's a little clip. What is that? Brandon and Joe, I think, are set up there to take off. And I want to show this, just another one of the random flights, but you see where Joe's taking off over in the dirt. I'm going to show a clip of me that I think is the next morning, trying to basically launch in the same direction. I had a little north wind. He's got a north wind here, and here's the clip. You can see looking north. I had the windsock showed just really light wind. I could tell it was going to be a beautiful morning, or I expected it to be. So pull the wing up, and if you look, man, the wing went left, made me head west, which is where a whole bunch of mud and muck, and probably definitely not the greatest decision making I've ever done. But I didn't want to reset the wing, and I ran right through the mud, and luckily got it up and was rewarded with beautiful morning. By all rights, I should have aborted the launch early enough to keep the wing dry and just reset, but I couldn't help it. So went out to buzz my buddy James at his place. He's the guy that flies with us a lot. He couldn't fly this morning. He's stuck in the trailer there on a business call. I think that's where he does his remote work, and I think he had a business call with the folks in the UK at like 5 a.m. So he was stuck. I think he said I made a bit of a hit of the Zoom call of me buzzing by that morning, but kind of the camera pointing into the sun kind of doesn't give the best image, but as you can see, it was a great morning. Here's some of the rice fields close to the launch site. Looks like they're starting to be developed. This is an area we'd really like to fly. Hate to see that go, but it'll give us some launch sites. Let's see if we can figure out where I ran through exactly. I set up for a launch. The windsock showed it was a north wind, so I'd be going basically left to right here. But the wing came up, pointed way to the right, or the left, I mean, sorry, to the west. And for whatever reason, I decided to go for it. I didn't want to reset up the wing. I must have not been centered. That's probably the most likely outcome. But I'm sure I got footprints running through the water here somewhere. Where are they? I don't want to wade out there too far. Oh yeah, here we go. No, that's an animal's. But there we go. Here's a footprint. Boom, boom, boom. Run right through the water. And then keep going and launch. So that's a good I must have set up right about there. A little bit forward and then zoom. That's what my buddy calls commitment issues for launching. I was committed to launch when I probably shouldn't have been. I should have got off and just aborted. But it wasn't going to hurt anything but my pride, and maybe, I don't know, I always risk getting the line and a prop with the power on and powering through something like that. But I made it. Just muddy shoes, which I kind of cleaned off on the polo field a little bit. All right, that's it. And we'll close this video with some footage that's pretty much another one of the typical flights we've had in the windy, not so great of flying weather months of April and May. Here I am getting in the air and testing it out. I got up, and I'd say the first 15 minutes were pretty nice, enjoyable. But after about 15-20 minutes, I decided, the bumps, lots of wind shear, not change of direction wind shear, just a healthy wind gradient. And I came back in and was followed not too long after. Joe and Brandon both did their landing. So we'll capture them, get a little footage of them landing in the back at the LZ after about a short 20-30 minute flight. It worked. All right. Here's Brandon coming in. Again, we had a little bit higher wind, so you could come in nice and slow and really soft landing. So nice job there. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you coming along, and until the next one, fly safe and take care of yourself.